The hell's today? Oh, yeah. Hey, y'all. It is April, and I'm coming to find out it's actually the 27th, 2020, 2024. I'm running a little bit late. All right, if it even matters, about 5 minutes late, but also running extremely early, about a whole day early. It's because I'm responsible. All right. I wanted to just make sure I got onto the internet one time, all right, so that I could say that I did it. It's no big deal. I don't know who's ever up in the building. If you want to talk trash, feel free because that's what I invite you to do. But it's no big deal, all right. I don't even know what day it is. Okay. Um, you know, what's I getting into? Yeah. So I'm very, very early, and well, I wanted to get online. I think I've explained that. And so I have conquered what I've attempted to do. Really, I could walk away from this whole situation and feel very satisfied with myself. But I don't know whoever's in the building. I figured I would say, "What's up?" All right, and then see what the heck's going up on the news. Because I know, but I don't really know. All right, we've all had those sort of days in which I've definitely been having them, especially recently. You know how like everything comes a crashing down or on you, or all the news, coming from every which angle and stuff. And a lot of people actually know you for knowing the news. Hypothetically out there, I know the feeling. You know about things when they happen, all right? I guess that's like the gift and the curse of living in these days. It's so very quickly, with the news. I'm over here. If you see me looking over to the side, it's because my Chromebook is a hot piece of garbage trash. And I had to beg and plead for it to get on the internet. And sometimes it'd be like, oh, yeah, I'll get on the internet. Yeah. Not really. I don't want to. It's like, oh, maybe I think I do this. And it'll get on and be like, yeah, I know what I'm doing here. And it just cuts off and stuff. Crazy nutballs, right? So we may or may not even like touch upon that stuff, but the point I was getting at is like it's not even necessary. Gosh, we were talking about prophets the other day, such as an Alex Jones. It's not like I think it would become less and less unusual. However, it is still rare to be like professing things. But I say that to say that, like if any one of us were to stop paying attention to anything at all for like weeks and months, let's say we just stopped paying attention for whole weeks and months, just didn't pay attention. And then we came back and we let somebody talk to us about whatever's going on. And we would likely have a way better insight into that event or occurrence or incident than the people who are actually actively hearing it, taking in all the the details and the evidence and stuff like that. If they tried their darndest, they would be taking in all the evidence and the details and still not having a damn clue in regards to the way that we probably would. All right. So kind of like, I don't know, I guess, it's kind of like a privilege, the privilege of being able to step away from all this gobbledygook. But I'm not sure at all, like if the Chromebook is really honestly going to pick up the internet. It's like it's struggling. I don't know how or why, but so I suppose I'll just cut to the chase. What I even came here tonight before to talk about. All right, I figured, yeah, talk about news, whatever, this and that. right? But ultimately, that's not really what I care to come talk about. Uh, I guess the best way to articulate it, I suppose, is to say, man, these are exciting times. So dang exciting and stuff. And I'm sure there's plenty of exciting times all throughout history, all throughout the world and stuff. Plenty of exciting times, but gosh darn it, I don't know. This might compete for the most exciting times, right? And I know a lot of people run around all bored, especially those millennials and those Generation Zs. They'll be all bored. You'd be like, "Hey, man, you're all bored." And the most exciting times that I could ever imagine. Perilous times. Times in which in America, like in general, generally speaking, people expect things to go as they've been going, right? Trend as they've been trending. That's what people expect. The Lord knows, there's little tweaks and incidents throughout our lifestyles and stuff, but expect things to be normal. And I'm wagering, just like a lot of people, that there's going to be a new normal, right? How and why and when exactly this happens, it's inevitable, but to predict it's going to be pretty hard, I suppose. There's a lot of variables, perhaps in chaos and calamity, but there's also a lot of humanity and teamwork. But anyways, what I came on to say, and I'll let y'all know if the internet decides to come on. I really doubt it. It's like what the who's paying the bill for this? All right, here's what I came on to say because the world is so exciting and it's on a personal level, it keeps pushing me. It keeps on pushing me. That's what I want to explain. It's the world, I guess, if I were to say it like that, the world keeps pushing me like a little baby bird out of the bird's nest, right? So that I could either fly or I'll just fall down to the ground and perhaps break my neck. I don't know how it works. Isn't that how it goes? How does it work when babies leave the nest? I don't know. It's likely something that they don't want to do too much. They don't really want to do it. They're very hesitant and very reticent to do it. These little baby birds, but the world, it's like a metaphor. The world is so damn exciting that it has to. It has. I had to get out of the nest, even though I'm a little baby bird. All right. Um, about a year ago or so, all sort of calamity and malarkey struck my lifestyle. And I ended up in the hospital for a little while and I had to get some stuff taken care of me. But I was in the hospital for a while. And I remember I was up in the hospital, I had plenty of time to not have any fun at all and be uncomfortable. And plenty of time to just to be thinking thoughts. And at one certain point, I can recall vividly telling my man, Scotty, I want to say I was in the hospital when I said, but it could have been shortly thereafter. I told my man, Scotty, I said, listen, buddy, I want to go crazy. And I kind of put him on the spot, Of course, he's not going to know how to take it. But I was like, buddy, hey, buddy. I was like, I kind of just want to go crazy. And I don't know if I said it like that, but I was like, dude, I don't care. Like, I just want to go hard in the paint. I just want to just go hard and give it my all or whatever and stuff. I said, buddy, I'll tell you what. I don't even care if I go homeless. I don't even care. That's what I told him. To which my man Scotty, he told me, "You better not fucking go homeless, buddy. You better not fucking go homeless." He told me, he warned me so much. He said, "You better not fucking go homeless." And he had his reasons. And he might have described them to me briefly. I mean, he's talking about, man, you go homeless and stuff, man, and you might not be able to make it back into a home. It's like, buddy, you shouldn't. You're talking crazy. You're talking crazy talk. And in a sense, he probably was. There's nobody to talk me down right now for my crazy talk. So I'm just going to freely talk like a crazy person right now when I say that urge, not an urge. I don't know if I call it an urge. What do you call it? If somebody's aware, somebody stays aware in their life, and then a window of opportunity reveals itself. It reveals itself to them right then. What is it? What do you call that? When they're aware of this little opportunity, it's kind of like a window of opportunity right there. It's not, I don't know if I would call it an urge. Like you got an urge to just jump on it, to jump on this opportunity. See that there's a window right there. I would say whatever the word is, just kind of feeling it. Just kind of feeling it. And I don't want to get too like I don't want to go beyond the point of being irresponsible. That's not the point of what I'm saying right now. The point of what I'm saying is not to be irresponsible, but is to really, really give it my all. Now, up until this point, you couldn't had no clue what the hell I'm talking about. And I don't blame you, but all right, I want to share something with you, and I'm going to share it with you tonight. But I can't tell you all the details. I mean, technically, I could tell you all the details, but I actually want to wait for tomorrow, in which I'll produce something a little bit so that I can show y'all. So that I can show y'all instead of telling y'all. But before I show y'all and tell y'all, I'll have you know that if I kind of like describe it a little bit, most people would turn and look at me, and I know full well, and they would say, "Look, you plan to pay bills this way? You plan to pay bills this way?" For my idea. And I wouldn't really know what to tell them exactly right then. But however, it's an idea that came into my head. And it came into my head before. I just didn't wind up jumping on the opportunity, and I let the opportunity go by. Kind of a way of earning money and resources. Let that opportunity go by. And what I wound up doing is instead of this idea that I had, I can't even remember if I ever shared the idea. Maybe I did, but I don't remember. Instead of embarking on this idea that I had back when maybe I had the opportunity a little bit, instead I went ahead and I got some other jobs, what they call menial jobs. Talking about low skill jobs. But jobs that honestly, like a guy like me, a regular simple guy like me, honestly, would not have any problem doing these jobs and, enjoying his day, even though that they're so simple. I wouldn't really have a problem doing them because I'm so simple that it wouldn't bother me to do them. I would find myself still enjoying my day, I'm sure. However, the jobs that I got, especially recently, these jobs that I got, they pay some money, but they certainly don't pay enough, even with having two of them, even with having two jobs, which that's gonna like start taking up a whole bunch of time, which is all right. But if it's not coming in with that profit margin, if you're not gathering money and saving it, then what is the point of having two jobs? It would seem. And I was thinking about that recently. It's like, oh my gosh, I ain't paying bills. What's the point of having two jobs? All right, it's really no point. So it got the wheels a turning in my head. Something had to be done. A move had to be made. Now, recently, I've actually been waiting a little bit on fixing my car because the car's been broken here for a little bit. Needs a part. It's not very complicated, but it needed a part or two or whatnot to be fixed up so that it can run good. All right, so I pretty much got that squared away. All right, so I had to get that done. I had to get a couple other things done. See, that's the thing about it. I'm always like catching up when it comes to financially attaining things that I need. All right. So since I had two jobs, for a while I've been thinking to myself, man, I got to get rid of one of these jobs. Got to get rid of it because both these jobs are taking up too much of my time. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. Um, I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't care if I worked 6 days a week, and just, I wouldn't. It wouldn't matter to me. But like I say, it just don't pay bills, and so that's not going to work out either. It doesn't pay the most minimal of bills. So, in an effort to be responsible, it would have to. It dawned on me that I would have to get rid of one of the jobs, and then in that spare time, figure out a way to make more money than at one of these freaking jobs. So, a week or two or three ago, I figured what I would do is get rid of my weekend job, a job that I do, I just got back from. I'll do it Saturday evenings and Sunday evenings. I figured, I'll get rid of that right quick so that it can free up some of my time in order to figure out different schemes or whatever to make money. Right? But, I wasn't rash, so I didn't pull the trigger, fast on that. On getting rid of my weekend job, I didn't do it. I just kept like going, and I've still been going, but I just don't want to go. And it's actually a good thing that I did. It worked out. The timing of it, I don't know if you understand, but all the timing of it has been just perfectly working out exactly like how how it probably should. I'm looking at the timing. I finally got this part that I've needed for my car to make sure it can get to running. I've gotten these other things situated. All right, I'm thinking I got enough situated where it's like, all right, go ahead, get rid of this weekend job. That way, I can really start trying to fulfill my potential. That's the other thing about it. These two jobs are very simple, and I don't mind a simple job. But the problem also is that I have like a lot of potential, and I know countless people have probably gone throughout time and throughout America thinking to themselves, "Damn, dude, I have so much potential." And yet, like, I'm over here doing the least, and I'm getting paid the least. And lots of times I'm over here with god awful retards who they can't help but do the least because they're retarded. And then I think to myself, it's like I'm over here doing a job, like say my weekend job. It's working at a Chinese food restaurant. I'm over here doing the job, doing it pretty good. People appreciate getting good service at the Chinese food restaurant, but I got straight up and down retards over there. They're doing the same thing. They're getting paid the same money, which is not much. If they weren't so retarded, I know it's the timeless tale of a person to complain about their workplace and say, if these people weren't so retarded, we'd probably all be making more money. But however, they're retarded. And so it puts a damper on all our money. All right. And I don't hold it against them. I realize they're retarded. It's like, okay, it makes sense that you would have such a menial job. But I'm here, and unbeknownst to everybody, I got way more potential than this. And I'm the worst person for not putting my foot down and getting something where I have some more potential. I don't know. Uh, all right. Okay. I forgot where I was at in the story, but to get back kind of where we were at, I was thinking about quitting my weekend job. And as timing would have it, my during the week job, which is for the past, I don't know, half a year, it's been just a labor job. It's been like working at this shop, doing this and that at a shop. And I was going to go ahead and hold on to that in the meantime. But however, it's a temp job. Like I got it through a temp agency. So for those people who know temp agencies, they'll send you out to a place, and if that place happens to run out of work, then they'll send you to another place, and then you go work there. So what happened is before I could quit the weekend job, my temporary job, they say, "Hey man, we ran out of work. You need to go and get up out of here. Like, I don't have any more work, so you got to go back to the temp agency, and they'll find you a new spot somewhere else." I say, well, that's how it goes. I mean, everybody knew what was the deal. And so I was like, good luck to everybody. And I took off. All right, it was the end of the week, so everybody was taking off. I was like, okay, so I took off, but here's the thing: as timing would have it, um, what most people would deem responsible thing to do would be to go to the temp agency, and I will, um, and get another job. Right. The reason is because that's going to be like definite money in your pocket. And furthermore, the temp agency that you have, they actually are you're under their insurance. So a responsible person would say, okay, those are the two things. You're not going to get paid much, but you're going to get definite money. And also you already have an insurance card. So that's a plus. Right? And so I do plan to call them on Monday actually and say, hey man, the original place, they ran out of work and stuff, and I want to see what options that you might have for me and stuff, and let me know. I want to talk to him on Monday, and I really want to know what are the options. Mostly, what I want to know is, can you find me someplace close? How close? And then also, how much money? Because man, I mean, yeah, I know it's not going to be a lot, but these days in San Antonio, Texas, if you're making less than 20, you are struggling real bad. And if you're making 20, you're kind of struggling. Okay. So that's what I plan to do on Monday. And also let them know whatever place that you might find for me, if there's an option that I might like that fits both these criteria at least kind of well, then I'll consider running out there and going and see what they're all about. Right? Especially they're talking about during the weekday job and stuff like that, especially if they're not talking about the nighttime and stuff. I mean, if it's a sweet little position, I don't know how sweet it's got to be, but if it's sweet enough, I'll go ahead and I'll take that. All right. And what the plan would be from there to do would be is to get on the next temp job. If it's sweet enough, I don't know. There's no guarantee it's going to be sweet at all. If that's sweet enough, then of course, get rid of my weekend job. I need to free up some time. But I'll let them know. I'll have to let them know on Monday that I can't go anywhere. I can't start anywhere until my car is fixed. And I believe we're working it out, but I believe might get the car fixed sometime this weekend. This next weekend. So what that'll do is it'll put a damper on my finances because inevitably I'm going to be missing a whole entire week from work. All right. But at the same time, what it'll do is it'll give me a whole entire week to scheme the plot. All right. So I'm gonna get up out of here, and I can't tell you the details because I want to show you, and I'll show you tomorrow. I already got some stuff, some footage, shot, and I'll edit it a little bit, put it together, put a video, and upload it here to YouTube, and then you could see what the hell I'm talking about. You could see what the hell I'm talking about, but without being too descriptive, I want to say that I'd rather go my own way and do this thing, do this idea that I had. I'd rather do that because this idea that I have, okay, there's no ceiling over my head. The sky's the limit. It's whatever I make of it. Just like any other job that you make yourself. It's like it's like you're in charge of how successful that this is. I go to my other jobs. Most jobs that I've ever gone to, it's like most jobs that exist. It's like it's not about how successful you are or how good you are or something like that. Um, it's about like you do the job and then don't you don't get paid much, but do the job and just don't think too hard about it. And it's not so much about achieving your potential or finding new horizons, if you will. So I'm gonna get up out of here, but the idea that I had, if I go ahead and I can successfully take advantage of it, of this opportunity, then what I'll do is basically sew myself into the community and also open up any number of avenues to create new ways to get money if I do this. And the community actually being a big part of it as well. I happen to be in the Stone Oak community here in San Antonio right now. That's the community that I live in, I guess, if you'd say that. But it doesn't matter. It's not about Stone Oak. In my mind, it's about whatever community I happen to be in. It really irks me. I gotta just say, it kind of irks me, and something should be done about it. I've lived my whole life, and especially my adult life. Um, I haven't really ever, to my knowledge, been a facet of my community. And I've always kind of wanted to be that. I want to be like I don't know. Some people might want this, but I want to go and walk around and people know who I am and recognize me and show respect. Right? Because as I get out of here, we're gonna see what's the possibilities as the country is crash landing and stuff, that's gonna be bad. At the same time, we could see like what's our possibilities, what's our potential. And with this idea right here that I have right now, it's possible that a lot of money could be made. It's possible that maybe only a modest amount of money could be made. But with my idea that I have, both those possibilities are possible. But what's more important, I think perhaps more important to me, is respect and reverence throughout the community because, people debate. If, like, for example, I'll shout out two legends right now. Andrew Tate, he says you got to get money. You're not getting enough money. You need to get more money because more money you get, the more better your life will be. And that's awesome. And people take it the wrong way, perhaps sometimes, but really, in the end, Andrew Tate really just wants you to be more happy and successful. And he's like, "Hey, man, money will do that. Not only that, but fitness and just being a badass in general." Now, on the other end, you got plenty of respectable people, but who comes to mind is Maitre Mark. Not too long ago, he said, I forget what he said exactly, but he said something like, to try your best to never ever attain wealth or whatever. I'm not sure exactly how he said it, but the way he said it, I completely understand what he means because, of course, most people out there probably struggle and sometimes even lose their selves, desperately trying to chase after money and stuff, right? So they could get lost, and really your life could turn to total garbage, even if you're getting all sort of money. I think that's what he meant by that. And I think, in a sense, both parties are correct. They're correct. But I want to tell you, and like, say the event that I were to see my daughter. I have a daughter, by the way. Let's say that I see her. I mean, it's like there's a chance I'll never see her again, right? There's a chance nobody wakes up tomorrow, or you know what I mean. Like you're not promised anything, but let's say that I was. I'll tell you whether or not I have a pocket full of cash or not. The way I envision it is if my daughter is with me, she's going to be, she's growing, she's a growing lady. She's now a young lady, she's a minor still, but she's getting mature. And, kids mature very fast. Here's the thing. If I were to go around with my daughter with me, and I only imagine it, if anyone were to show me less than the proper respect that I deserve, I don't know how I'd react. I'd react very poorly, probably. So that's to say, it's like, okay, if I want respect, I need to command respect. If I go around, whether or not I have a pocket full of cash, if my daughter was with me, she would understand that every single person who I see who sees me is going to show me some damn respect. And not out of fear or something like that, just because I'm a facet of the community. I make good things happen, and everybody knows it, right? And I don't take shade off of nobody with this idea. Not only will I be a facet to the community, but I wish you would come around and try to tell me anything, right? If the idea goes this whole week to really give it a good shot. Now it's not a situation of that's going to make you rich in 1 week or that you're going to start making money in 1 week. But I feel like within 1 week, I have some sort of idea of the potential, and this idea that I'm gonna have to show y'all tomorrow, unfortunately. So you're gonna have to lose a whole night of sleep. You're gonna have to roll and toss and turn thinking about this idea that I have, and then you don't know what it is. All right. My suggestion is to take some sleeping pills, all right, and stop thinking about it. All right, it's not a big deal. But I'll tell you about it tomorrow on April the 28th. This is the 27th. I'll holler at y'all a little bit later.